Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including new Cybertruck sightings, changes to the Tesla Referral Program, new factory updates from Tesla, and why, if you're interested, you should buy your Tesla now instead of waiting. So let's get into it. Special thanks to SimpliSafe for sponsoring this video. First up today, just a quick follow-up on that tragic Tesla accident that happened a few weeks ago. It covered the news and headlines blamed it on Autopilot, but then Tesla said on their earnings call that AutoSteer could not have been engaged on the road where the accident occurred. Sure enough, the NTSB released their preliminary report regarding the crash and found that AutoSteer, quote, was not available on that part of the road. Traffic-aware cruise control could be engaged, but steering would have had to be controlled by the driver. The NTSB is still doing a full investigation and said, quote, all aspects of the crash remain under investigation as the NTSB determines the probable cause, with the intent of issuing safety recommendations to prevent similar crashes. This seems to be the result that most were expecting, but the damage has already been done with headlines blaming Tesla Autopilot for the accident. Still, it's good to see that Autopilot wasn't at fault, but it's still a tragic accident that shouldn't be taken lightly. Next up, Tesla has agreed to pay a $750,000 fine and install a solar roof project to settle a number of air quality violations at their Fremont factory. This seems somewhat surprising given the air quality focus that Tesla has with zero-emissions vehicles, but the Bay Area Air Quality Management District said this settlement covers 33 separate notices of violations dating back to 2015 from Tesla. They included, quote, installing or modifying equipment without proper permits, failure to conduct required emissions testing, failure to maintain records, and failure to report information to the Air District in a timely manner. Since then, the violations have been corrected, Tesla is in compliance, and it will be settled with this new fine. Technically, the fine is actually $1 million, but Tesla will pay $750,000 directly and receive a $250,000 credit once the installation of a community microgram system, which includes solar panels, is installed. It seems that Tesla hasn't had many recent violations, and hopefully this gets settled and the future is a little better for their commitment to air quality. Next up, as you likely know by now, Elon Musk was the host of Saturday Night Live over the weekend. There are various reviews as to the quality of the show or his performance, but one thing I think we can all recognize is that it's pretty crazy that the CEO of one of the world's largest companies and one of the richest men on earth dressed up and participated in sketches on live television. There were some pretty incredible costumes that Elon performed in, but the favorite of many was Lloyd Ostertag, the Weekend Update financial expert. He talked all about cryptocurrency and especially Dogecoin, making all sorts of jokes about it in the process and calling himself the Doge Father. A few days later, Elon tweeted to ask, do you want Tesla to accept Doge? The response was an overwhelming yes, with 77.8% of the nearly 4 million votes saying yes at the time of filming. Tesla recently started accepting Bitcoin and is by far one of the first large companies to make such a move into cryptocurrency, so it'll be very interesting to see if anything comes from this tweet from Elon. We know he loves to try crazy things, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Dogecoin button added to Tesla's order page soon, even if nobody plans to use it. Next is the big story for today, why you shouldn't wait to buy a Tesla. Tesla currently sells 4 models, and the Model 3 was updated late last year with the biggest upgrades we've seen since the launch of that car. The Model Y has only been out for a year, and Tesla just recently refreshed the Model S and X to ship soon. When shopping for a Tesla, many people want to wait for price drops or new features to come to the cars, but there are a number of reasons right now why waiting might not be the smartest idea. First, Tesla's Q1 was record-breaking for them. They delivered over 184,000 cars, 182,780 of which were Model 3s and Ys. These are their most popular vehicles due to their lower price point, and this record-breaking quarter shows just how popular their vehicles are and continue to be. There doesn't seem to be an issue with Tesla selling their vehicles even though they start close to $40,000. In fact, recently Tesla has been raising their prices a number of times, by around $500 to $1,000 each time. The latest increase came on May 7th and brought the cheapest Tesla up to a price of $39,490. This may make people want to wait for the price to drop again, which it might, but it might not be for a very long time. The entire car industry is facing a large chip shortage, and this is not new. It has been happening for a while now and has been affecting nearly all major car makers who can make entire vehicles but can't finish them due to a lack of supply for essential microchips. In fact, thousands of new Ford trucks have been piling up at the Kentucky Speedway. They are completed, ready to be sold, but lack semiconductors, just as I've been mentioning. So they are just sitting there until supply can catch up, which means that getting an actually complete Ford vehicle is proving more and more difficult. This article also specifically says, quote, "Even though there are too many trucks in the Kentucky Speedway parking lots to count, it's only a fraction of the vehicles being stored throughout Kentucky and the country." The auto industry has been hit the worst by this shortage, with many brands leaving out high-end technological features in order to sell their vehicles. So with all of this going on, how is Tesla breaking quarterly delivery records? Well, according to their Q1 2021 earnings report, quote, "In Q1, we were able to navigate through global chip supply shortage issues in part by pivoting extremely quickly to new microcontrollers while simultaneously developing firmware for new chips made by new suppliers." Elon expanded on this further to say, quote, "This quarter, and I think we'll continue to see that a little bit in Q2 and Q3, we had some of the most difficult supply chain challenges that we've ever experienced in the life of Tesla, and same difficulties with supply chain with parts, over the whole range of parts. Obviously, people have heard about the chip shortage." So he mentioned there that it is likely to continue a little into Q2 and Q3. However, they were able to navigate the chip shortage that others weren't able to work through. Still, it seems that it could be possibly affecting Tesla a little bit, since they have already sold out of all of their vehicles for this quarter. According to a source speaking with Electrek, Tesla communicated to employees that production capacity for the second quarter is already sold out, with still almost 2 months left in the quarter. This could simply be due to demand and a maximum production capacity for these vehicles, but likely they can only produce past a certain number due to their limited chip supply. Still, there are opportunities to buy new, order a display model, and more, and Tesla's website still says 5 to 11 weeks for the Model 3 and Model Y. If you are wanting one soon and don't end up being able to get one this quarter, your order will surely be queued for next quarter. With Tesla's general demand rising and more new vehicles being unable to ship due to parts shortages, this may create even more demand for Tesla in the meantime. They seem to be surviving and making their cars without much issue as they navigate chip supply issues, while other car makers are unable to. In turn, across the industry, cars are getting more expensive, with about 13% of people who bought in April paying above the sticker price. Tesla will likely keep raising their prices as demand for their new vehicles is soaring. Now, there are a few more reasons to buy now, and we'll get there in a minute. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is an easy-to-use, customizable home security system that is free from contracts or hidden costs and will ensure that your home is safe. If you've wanted to set up home security but have put it off, SimpliSafe is the perfect solution that you can install yourself in under an hour. SimpliSafe offers 24/7 monitoring, automatic police calling, and has available sensors for every window, room, or door you could possibly need them for. On top of that, they have water sensors, temperature sensors, smart locks, smoke detectors, and great HD cameras. Everything is simple to use, and monitoring costs as low as 50 cents per day with no contracts. In my personal experience, I love the peace of mind that SimpliSafe brings, knowing my home is secure, checking in on live camera feeds, and getting notified on the go if anything were to go wrong. I'm currently using the HD SimpliCam to monitor my office, along with a slew of sensors protecting my whole house. Soon I'll be installing the SimpliSafe smart lock and video doorbell as well, and I'm happy to know that these can all come with me to the next place that I live. Head to simplisafe.com/Ryan Shaw to check out their award-winning home security, learn more, and secure your home today. On top of everything I mentioned earlier, there's an impending federal credit for EVs that could arrive later this year. Rumor has it that a $10,000 point-of-sale program will be put in place for the United States that will include Teslas. Most are speculating that Tesla will continue to raise their prices and will raise them even further once this credit arrives. As unfortunate as it is for those wanting an affordable Tesla, Tesla isn't having an issue selling out their inventory for the quarter at their current prices. So if a $10,000 program came to be, they could theoretically raise prices by $10,000 and see the same demand. In that situation, it really just depends on how other automakers handle the situation and whether or not they raise prices as well. Worst case scenario, Tesla raises their prices to cancel out this EV credit. Best case scenario, the EV credit saves a Tesla buyer $10,000 on the purchase of their car. That would be the one reason to wait it out, and it's very possible that this could still happen, but most expect that Tesla will raise their prices if it comes to be. Now, there is one more reason that Tesla's demand could soar in the very near future: gas shortages. A run on fuel began after a ransomware attack last week that shut down the Colonial pipeline. It should be restored soon, but it has not only caused gas supply to be sold out in many states, but the price to hit all-time highs as well. For those affected by this and in the market for a new vehicle, an electric Tesla will look even more appealing. There are so many factors going on right now that could easily make it way harder and way more expensive to actually get a new Tesla when you want one. Right now just might be the best time to order one to ensure that you can take delivery before chip shortages worsen, demand skyrockets, or prices accelerate by a lot. As always, take this with a grain of salt because it's very possible that these things get resolved, and waiting ends up being the best option with a federal EV incentive or maybe even an updated Model 3 or Y. However, right now it seems like those cars aren't changing anytime soon. Tesla's prices are rising and demand is through the roof. We can even see used Tesla prices hitting higher than new prices, and if they're truly sold out through the quarter, this very well may continue. Next up, when Elon Musk was in New York City for Saturday Night Live, he seems to have brought along the Cybertruck, and we got some new details about it in the process. Elon tweeted saying, quote, "Cybertruck prototype in New York this weekend," and then Tesla posted a video of the Cybertruck in New York City driving past Radio City Music Hall and looking like something from Cyberpunk 2077. Some more photos of it were taken by @KateB Photos, who spotted the Cybertruck out and about in the morning. Still, just an insane sight to see the Cybertruck out and about in normal life, and consider that they are really planning to make this thing in large quantities. Additionally, the Cybertruck was on display at the Tesla store in New York City, and we could see some angles and close-ups we haven't seen before. The most notable new photo came from DePaul Sunny, who took a video and noticed that the Cybertruck has 8 cameras, 2 of which are built into the wheel wells in a triangle cyberpunk design, but there are no B-pillar cameras. The surprise came with the addition of a camera underneath the front bumper. This is something that we haven't seen on any Tesla, and the use for it is unknown at this point. Most likely this camera won't have anything to do with the Autopilot system. Instead, it will function like a rear backup camera, but for the front, and make it something that you can utilize when parking this massive truck or taking it off-road. Tesla hasn't fully detailed just how useful this truck will be off-road, but if they want it to truly compete with the likes of the Ford F-150, it will need to hold its own. Back in 2020, Elon said, quote, "We're working on increasing dynamic air suspension travel for better off-roading. Needs to kick butt in Baja." So we know that it is something Tesla is thinking about and actively working on for final production of this truck. Most likely, that is the use for this front camera, so that you don't end up damaging the large battery pack on the bottom of the Cybertruck when going off-road. Hopefully we'll get more details about this soon, as the truck recently popped up at Tesla's Gigafactory, Texas, and now in New York City, of all places. Next up, you may be familiar with Tesla's referral program. If you use my referral link, linked in the description below, to buy a Tesla, you get 1,000 free supercharger miles, and so do I. The program used to be much more involved, allowing referrers to get prizes such as a Tesla Roadster, and now over 80 people are promised free Roadsters. The referral program is an incentive for those with Teslas to tell others about them and provide free, or at least cheap, advertising for Tesla, since they get 1,000 free supercharger miles in return. Well, sources are saying that Tesla spent over $23 million in free supercharger miles last quarter alone. As demand increases, this will probably only accelerate, and as much as it makes sense for the cost of making a sale, it appears that Tesla is going to be completely revamping the referral program going forward. Tesla is planning to eliminate referral links and change the system to an app-based referral program that promotes in-person referrals instead of via social media. The plans have not been completely clarified, but it appears that it will be much more involved in the future, with owners facilitating test drives and getting rewards that way. Hey, if you really want 1,000 free supercharger miles, that's another reason to buy now and not wait to buy, since this Tesla program for referrals will soon be going away. Speaking of supercharging, Tesla just hit a new milestone by building out their 25,000th supercharger stall. At the end of 2020, Tesla had over 20,000 supercharger stalls at over 2,100 locations. Now, just a few months later, they have hit 25,000 supercharger stalls at over 2,700 locations around the world. It's very impressive progress for their supercharger network, and it will absolutely need to continue to grow as more and more of their vehicles hit the road in the next few months and years. Last up today, it appears that Tesla is already planning for a new facility at their Giga Texas factory named Bobcat Project. According to the filing, quote, "Documents recently filed with the City of Austin indicate Tesla Inc. plans another facility on its land in eastern Travis County. There aren't too many details about what the facility would be used for, and project representatives either declined to comment or could not be reached by publication time. But a site plan filed April 30th for Tesla's Bobcat project points to another industrial building rising off Harold Green Road near the company's $1.1 billion Gigafactory. Many have speculated that this is where Tesla builds their battery factory to build their own 4680 battery cells that they detailed at Battery Day. However, the previously submitted plans had the battery cell factory in one of the main buildings, so it is unclear what this new property, that covers as much as 97 acres, will be used for. In any case, we can see that Tesla is not slowing down anytime soon. They are going full steam ahead through record-breaking quarters as they try to get the Cybertruck produced and Model Y produced at 2 new factories around the world. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to check out what the next big product reveal from Tesla could be, you can check out that video linked over here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.